You know those dumb internet trends? Like the 24-hour challenges where people sneak into malls, stores, or even schools and try to stay hidden overnight just for clout? Well, my cousin Zach actually did it, except he never finished the challenge. Not because he got caught, but because something inside that school didn't want him to leave. This happened in Ohio, in a small town called Huron. He and 3 of his friends tried the 24-hour challenge in their old high school after it had been shut down for renovations. Only 2 of them came back. Zach had always been the thrill seeker in the family. He ran a small YouTube channel with urban exploration videos, abandoned hospitals, forgotten subway tunnels, stuff like that. But this time, he wanted something more personal, something local. Huron High had closed down a year ago due to black mold issues and weird plumbing failures, but locals whispered other reasons, about a teacher that went missing and a janitor who was found dead in the boiler room. Zach didn't care. To him, it was perfect clickbait. He got 3 of his friends, Jake, Mia, and Chris, and they planned to sneak in through a broken window near the back gym entrance. They brought flashlights, snacks, walkie-talkies, and 1 GoPro each. It was around 11:30 p.m. when they entered. The gym was freezing cold. Not just no heating cold, more like unnatural, breath-visible kind of cold. Zach messaged me a selfie from the gym, grinning like an idiot with a caption, "If we die tonight, this better go viral, lol." By midnight, they were exploring. The hallways were filled with desks stacked against the walls. Old posters hung half-ripped, fluttering when they passed. But the weirdest thing, every classroom door was slightly open, like someone had gone through and propped them all just a crack. They thought maybe it was the janitors or maintenance crew, until they heard the lockers slam shut, all at once. Chris swore it was just the wind, but Jake said there wasn't any wind. All the windows were shut, most sealed with plywood. Then came the announcement, an actual voice over the school PA, crackly, low, and impossible to trace. "You have 1 hour." They froze. Zach whispered, "Did anyone hear that?" Mia was already shaking her head, trying to open the gym door. It wouldn't budge. None of them could figure out how the power was still on. And when they checked their phones, the time was stuck at 12:06 a.m. Battery percentages weren't changing either, like time had stopped. They decided to head to the science wing, hoping to find another way out near the back staircase. That's when they split up. Chris and Mia took the lower hall. Zach and Jake went upstairs. It was a stupid move, but they thought staying in pairs was safer. Zach's last GoPro footage showed him and Jake climbing the stairs, joking nervously about seeing the ghost of Mr. Penrose, the chemistry teacher who allegedly vanished mid-class. They reached the 2nd floor. The hallway lights flickered. Then the GoPro caught something. A figure at the end of the hallway, wearing a faculty badge, staring directly at the camera. But when Jake turned his head, the figure was gone. Downstairs, Chris and Mia were having their own nightmare. The hallway was pitch black. Even their flashlights dimmed, like the batteries were dying. They found the counselor's office, door wide open. Inside, on the whiteboard, written in thick black marker, 4 entered, 2 may leave. Chris tried to take a photo of it, but his phone screen turned static. Literally, just black and white fuzz, like an old TV with no signal. They bolted out of the office only to hear someone walking behind them, heavy boots dragging. Mia turned around and screamed. No one was there, but there were wet footprints following them. Upstairs, Zach and Jake found the library. It was the one place untouched. No dust, no broken shelves, books stacked neatly, like it was still in use. Zach was filming the whole time. He moved the camera across the room, and when he panned back, Jake was gone. Not like ran off gone, like he had vanished. Silently, Zach called out, ran between shelves, but all he found was Jake's GoPro, still recording. The last frame showed Jake looking at a window reflection, and behind him, a tall figure with no eyes band, no mouth, just a hollow stretched face like melted wax. Zach clutched Jake's GoPro and whispered his name. No reply. Only that low hum, like a generator running far beneath the school. Then the library lights went out. Every bulb. Instant blackout. Zach sprinted out, flashlight shaking in his grip, back into the hallway, where every locker door was now wide open, slamming shut one by one behind him. Bang, 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 until only one stayed open. Locker 243, Jake's old locker. Inside was a hoodie, still warm. Zach backed away slowly, whispering, "What the hell is going on?" Then he heard footsteps running behind him. But when he turned, there was no one there. Meanwhile, Chris and Mia found the gym doors again, still locked. Mia was crying now. Chris tried the walkie-talkie. Static. Then, a voice, not Zach's, not human. It whispered, "3 remain. 1 will witness." Mia screamed and dropped hers. It shattered. They decided to break a window. Chris picked up a metal chair and swung it at the glass, but it bounced off. Didn't even leave a scratch. Then they heard the old school bell, but it wasn't a ring. It was more like screaming. Long, distorted, metallic, and it echoed through the whole building. Zach finally found Chris and Mia near the locker room hallway. They looked pale, sweating, shaking. Mia ran to him and whispered, "Jake's gone too, isn't he?" He nodded. Then something started dragging metal across the tiles behind them, like a long pipe. It scraped louder and louder until Chris turned around and saw nothing. Just a trail of blood leading into the boys' locker room. Against their better judgment, they followed it, only to find the showers turned on, water running red. Then came the whispers, faint at first, then louder, "Stay with us." They ran. No plan, just ran. Down the hall, they passed the cafeteria. The tables were set, food trays filled with gray, moldy meat, and every chair was facing the wall, as if the students were being punished. Then Chris spotted it, a door behind the custodian's office, one they had missed before. It led to the basement. The air was thick. Every step down felt like sinking deeper into water. When they reached the bottom, Zach's flashlight flickered, then revealed something awful. A wall covered in missing posters, but they weren't old. The ink was fresh, and one of them showed Jake. They moved deeper into the basement, pipes overhead hissed like whispers. Then they heard it. Drip, drip, drip. A wet sound, slow and deliberate. In a back room, they found it. A creature, tall, thin, faceless, wearing a tattered staff badge, its head tilted sideways as if trying to understand them. It spoke without a mouth, a voice that rang in their heads. "You were not meant to return." Chris grabbed a metal rod and swung. The thing vanished like smoke, but not before it left something behind. A note, written in blood. 1 leaves, 2 remain. They turned to run, but Chris wasn't behind them. He had stopped, frozen, staring into the dark. Then, like a puppet, he was yanked backward by something unseen, into the shadows. Mia screamed. Zach grabbed her hand. They ran without looking back. Up the stairs, down the main hall, every classroom door now wide open again. But inside each room, there were people, dozens.
Sitting at desks, unmoving, their heads tilted at impossible angles, eyes missing, smiling. Zach pulled Mia toward the entrance. One last chance. Either they escaped or joined the others.
They reached the main office. The front doors were still chained shut, but the side window, the one they entered through, was open. Wide. Too wide, like it was waiting. Zach let Mia climb first. Then he heard that voice again, behind him. "Leave her. Stay." He turned and saw the figure again, closer now. Its face was shifting, mimicking his own. He backed out the window, slamming it shut just as the creature reached it. The glass fogged up instantly with the words, "1 left." Mia and Zach made it home at sunrise, but neither of them slept. Zach uploaded the footage, but parts were corrupted, whole scenes missing. The timestamp was still stuck at 12:06 a.m. 2 days later, Mia disappeared. No signs of forced entry, no evidence. And Zach, he hasn't been the same since. Sometimes he texts me late at night, just 3 words. "Still in here." I don't know what he means. Maybe he never really left that school. Maybe none of them did. And if you ever get the idea to do a 24-hour challenge, just remember this. Some buildings don't want you to leave.